Hi, I'm Dale, and welcome to From a Particular Point of View. This is a podcast where we dig through the media garbage and look through American life and times from a perspective of faith.
We're on a mission from God.
You could call me man Claw without Claw.
Politics.
Why should I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? An elected legislature can trample a man's rights as easily as a king can.
And entertainment.
Why are you here? There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes, I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
How dare you? How dare you?
Lighten up, Francis.
I'm a nerd. I'm pretty proud of it.
It will test your head and your mind. Your brain, too.
So sit back, literally or figuratively, and enjoy American life and times from a particular point of view.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
Yes. The infamous recording of Marilyn Monroe wishing President Kennedy a happy birthday. Well, there has always been speculation, and I think from one of the books I've heard on tape, there was something going on between them. However, there was also something going on with Jackie O and other people in the White House, so it wasn't the happy marriage as we are not always thought, but you get the idea. Anyway, hi, I'm Dale, and this is From a Particular Point of View. For comments, questions, concerns, whatever, ideas, thoughts, watercoolercomments at hotmail.com or watercoolercomments at gmail.com. Oh boy. So Sunday is Trump's birthday, which is okay, good. And it's also Flag Day. Coincidental. I maybe not. I mean, after all, I'm not sure which one came first, Trump or the flag. That's a joke, by the way. I mean, he is old, but he is old, almost as old as Biden, but in much better condition. So, anyway, yes. So, February 14th, which is tomorrow, again, Flag Day, and it's Trump's birthday. So, happy birthday, Mr. President. Not that you're going to hear this because, you have access to it, but we're going to hear this, you're going to watch it. You got more important things to do to hear the likes of me. So, anyway, if he did, I'd be extremely flattered because why would he listen or watch this video, podcast, whatever? Depending on where you're hearing this from, whether it's audio or video, I have been having issues with the audio part. Again, I'm working here with a dollar store setup, and that's dollar store at best. So things just don't seem to work out quite as I want to. On a good day, hey, that's not bad. Could be better, but not bad. On bad days, it takes me a while to get this whole thing sounding okay at best. That's because I don't have a soundboard. I don't have a lot of cool stuff that I would need to make this professional. It's just me. There's no income here. There's no outgoing. Well, there's a little bit outgoing here and there, but it's just it's a dollar store setup. Putting it nicely. Granted, there is some stuff here made in China. However, it's not me. So anyway, as we usually start, we're going to begin with some quotes, as we usually do. Quotes from Lee Strobel. He is a Christian apologist. Anyway, I think back in the day he was an investigator for LA or something. I don't know, but Lee Strobel said, denying the existence of Jesus doesn't make him go away. It merely proves that no amount of evidence will convince you. Gerd Ludemann, who's an atheist, German atheist, said, Jesus did exist whether we like it or not. Malcolm Mudbridge said, new news is old things happening to new people. I like that one. Adam Smith, mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. I don't know who said this, but I like it. No one hates the U.S. like those who won't leave. G. Michael Hoff said, Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Margaret Thatcher said, the problem with socialism is that sooner or later you run out of other people's money. Denzel Washington said, anything you practice you get good at, including BS. Denzel Washington also said, if you don't read the papers, you're not informed. If you do read the papers, you are misinformed. And let's see. There's there's some more on here that that they're accredited to saying it. However, that I still have I'm having a hard time trying to find whether or not some of these people did say things like there was a quote allegedly from Mark Twain, from Theodore Roosevelt. They're nice quotes, but I like it when they're actually confirmed. Here's another unknown one I thought was kind of cool. 9 out of 10 scientists and pollsters agree with whoever's paying them. I mean, it's even the case when they say Trump's numbers are outstanding, or, if they say like conservatives own the country or whatever, it's like, it sounds great, but is it really true? Because, when I hear, I don't know, I keep on hearing these numbers and these polls and these scientific, numbers and about the studies. Okay, where'd they come from? I mean, nobody does anything for free, usually. And if you're going to get paid for it, people want their money's worth. What does that mean? That means if you give somebody the money to create a study to prove something, you want them to prove something that is on your side. So, of course. Anyway. So with that out of the way, there was some more stuff, but I didn't want to spend too much time on all of them, not until I get some good ones. Excuse me, I've had a frog in my throat today. And that's even without coffee. Anyway, maybe that's the problem. It was a kind of a busy week in news, and because I haven't been able to do this last week or two, it's been kind of piling up a little bit. Again, I live in Oregon, unfortunately, and in Oregon there is a thing called SP 28. And the SP is signature petition, I believe is what that is. And SP 28 makes it illegal to kill any creature. That means no hunting, no fishing, not even pest control, because you're killing an ant or a roach or something. But you can't kill, excuse me, you can't kill or abuse in any way, fashion, or form any kind of creature. So no milk, no cheese, no eggs. Again, unless you're an extreme vegan, this is total crap. I mean, extreme vegans would love this. I mean, if you're a true diehard vegan, it's just perfect. And they're putting it out there as a animal cruelty thing. And I forget what the name of this thing is, but it's ridiculous. And I wouldn't worry about it too much. However, I thought back in the day when Oregon was putting up the thing to make all drugs legal, to make it so you can just have fun with them. I thought, Oregonians would never vote for that. They would never vote for legalizing hard drugs, right? Well, guess what? They did. And now we have a huge drug problem in Oregon. I mean, people are coming from all over the world, setting up shop in the bigger cities and taking all the drugs they want. And the liberal Democrat government of Oregon is just saying, sure, we'll take care of you. And they'll just give them drugs, and they'll give them needles and give them whatever they want. It's ridiculous, putting it nicely. Anyway, the SPLC got indicted, which is awesome. The SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and this is a group of people who used to be pretty good. It used to be that if you got in trouble and if somebody was infringing upon your civil rights, they'd back up for you. However, they went left hardcore. And now every group that doesn't side with the left or with progressives is a hate group. There are many groups out there, good, wholesome groups, who are labeled as hate groups. A lot of churches are labeled as hate groups. Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, that's a hate crime. Or that's a hate group. I mean, that's according to them. Well, what they were doing was they were actually giving money to like the KKK to make sure that they're still strong. And then they would get money from donors combating the KKK for stuff that So yeah, they got indicted, which was awesome, which is very good. The voters race in L.A. I come to find out that it wasn't really that trustworthy, because Karen Bass was up there. She's always just ahead of what I forget what he's a Spencer Pratt or something. He's a reality TV star, or at least he used to be, and he was right up there at the top because I guess in L.A. If the top two people fight it out in the primary, well, he was up there, and then suddenly, just like in 2016. Overnight, the third person who was way down suddenly jumped up and went over to Spencer Trapp. And now they're saying, that's it. That's what we want. Those are people we're going to vote for. So, and of course, that's a lie. I mean, I've been hearing reports all over the place about how dead people, illegal aliens, I mean, your typical Democrat thing. Of course, they have mail-in ballots. And even days and days and days after the ballots, they're still counting them. You know, even though it's, I believe even like days later, they're still counting them. Well, that's just the law. That's just how we do it. You know, we count it really slow. The reason why they're still counting it because they're not getting the results they want. And I believe the moment they decided that this other third liberal person was going to win, boom, that's it. We got our winner. That's it. This is how it is. So pretty much you count until you get your results that you want. And since California is a liberal cesspool of crap, putting it very nicely, they get what they want. And it's just like Oregon, just like Washington. Anyway, I heard last week that the vendors may be going on strike for the World Cup. You know, all the people who selling, I don't know, hot dogs and bagels or beer, soda, whatever, I guess they were getting ready to go on strike. It's like, oh, how convenient. Just when the world comes to visit, you're going to go on strike. That sounds like extortion. That's like, that's an awful nice sports event you have. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. And that's well, and then I heard a few days later that they reached an agreement. So I don't know how much they paid these unions, and I say that with all the disdain I can muster. Unions suck, putting it nicely. So they're back again. So yeah. Anyway, Trump gets kicked out of a Knicks game. Now I'm not a big basketball fan, but I also know that that most basketball people are liberals, Democrats, whatever. Why, I don't know. But he went there, and I saw all over Twitter, they're booing Trump, they're booing Trump. Well, the video that I saw, I didn't hear any boos, or at least very little. I heard, USA, that's what I heard, USA, USA. And it's like, well, I don't hear very much booing at all. I mean, there might be a little bit, but yeah, according to the news, according to ABC News, which ABC News sucks, Trump got booed at the game, and they lost. It's like, yeah, so anyway, ABC News did defend a helicopter crash in Iran. One of our helicopters, I guess, got shot down by a drone, which to me sounds kind of funny. I mean, we have the best equipment in the world, and a drone took us out? Must be a heck of a good drone. But anyway, I heard ABC actually defending Iran. And they get their information from Iran News Network or something, or it's ridiculous. Putting it very nice. The big news for this week, well, hold on, we'll get back to that here, because the one I was going to talk about, the big news, kind of coincides with the theme for this week. But Rob Reiner's son, wants his inheritance from his parents' death. He killed his parents, and now he wants his own inheritance for it to pay for his lawyers. So he kills his parents, and then he wants the inheritance. Wow. And of course, like I said, the soccer cup. So I guess I just read a little piece there before I came on here, or this podcast, about how the world is marveling and flooding into Americana restaurants, like Waffle Houses, pancake houses, hamburgers. I mean, the stuff that is really only American food. And I guess they're just rushing in. They're loving the American culture. Of course they are. Duh. Which is why people are dying to get in, legally or unlegally. But anyway, the big news here that kind of molds into my main idea for the theme for this week is about a year or so ago, there was a track meet. And there was two teams, of course. Well, I don't know if there was more teams or not. There might have been more teams. But there was two tents set up on either side of the field, I guess. And this one young man came over, and I guess, I don't know why, he came over, maybe to get information from the team, or just I heard one story that he saw a girl he liked. He's going to check. I mean, I'm hearing stories from different. You know, the only thing that is certain, that is eyewitnesses, is that this young man, Carmelo Anthony, came over and he's getting all nosy and looking around. I guess at least one or two people said, "Hey, you don't belong here. This is not your team. Leave." And I guess Austin, I had it written down on my notes, and I guess I didn't hit save, and that information went away. It's terrible. Let's see here real quick. I'm gonna get on my phone. That's where I keep a lot of my notes. And one other thing. It didn't save. Doggone it. Two more things about the news. Apparently, ABC News is now putting, since Trump is in office, ABC News is now putting food and energy along with the price index numbers to make it sound a lot more. Because back when Biden was president, if you recall, they'd say, "Oh, our numbers are this high," but that's not including food and energy. Now they're including food and energy to boost the numbers. Go figure. The Pope says that people who believe in Jesus won't like war. Nobody likes war. Nobody does, but we do it because we have to. Elon Musk, because SpaceX went public, Elon Musk is now worth $1 trillion. I wish my boss was worth that much. I mean, he could buy us a whole bunch of crap. That'd be awesome. Anyway, back to the other one. Austin Metcalf was the young man's name. And Austin Metcalf, I believe, because he also has a twin brother, and I'm not sure which is which, but I believe Austin Metcalf says, "Hey," kind of trying to push him away. "This is not your area. This is not your team. Leave." And I believe Carmelo Anthony said, "You put your hand on me again, you'll regret it." Well, come on, push, trying to get him out of the area. And our Carmelo Anthony turned around, pulled a knife. I don't know who brings a knife to a track meet, but apparently he does. He pulls a knife out and stabs him in the chest. And the chest, I didn't remember if the knife went through the sternum, right, there, or went between the ribs or whatever, but it hit his heart, killing him. Boom, dead. And then I don't remember if he ran off or if the blood drew out or whatever, but he died. And that was a year or so ago. And of course, his trial was just recently to see whether or not he was guilty, or I think there was guilty of manslaughter, guilty of murder, or guilt or innocent, or whatever the term they use for that. I forget right now. But and pretty much everybody was on bated breath. Well, as I understand it, they figured it out like at noonish. It only took an hour or two, I think, but they figured it out, and they didn't release the results because they want to make sure they have all the police presence available, because they knew what was going to happen. Come to find out, he was guilty of murder, and he is guilty of murder, going to prison for 35 years. But to me, 35 years for killing somebody in cold blood is just, I mean, you bring a knife to a track meet. Was it premeditated? I mean, who does that? Who brings a knife anywhere? I mean, I have a pocket knife, but it's a tool. It's cutting things. It's sometimes used as a screwdriver. I don't take it to. I don't put it in my backpack, and of course I don't have a backpack. But still, I would never use my knife. Besides, my little pocket knife wouldn't cause much damage to anybody. Anyway, but he killed Austin Metcalf, and now, excuse me, another frog. And now Austin Metcalf is in the grave, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Austin. And Carmelo Anthony is in prison. Now they're saying 35 years, with, I guess, a possibility of parole after half that, which is, to me, he should be in prison for the rest of his life. Boom, that's it. There should be no, with how he did it, and what gets me is the first few days after this verdict was read, I went on Twitter. It's like, we gotta hear this. This is gonna be rich. And what really amazed me is the first 3 days, all I saw was black people getting on there, telling them, "Hey, you kill somebody, you pay the price. That's it. Boom." And they're saying, "Yeah, he's you killed somebody, you go to prison." one person who I think wasn't, one person, because he was sipping a cup and it said Texas Democrat. I thought Democrats were illegal in Texas. Anyway, he was actually sounding just like, no, he's innocent. He was provoked. He did that to protect himself. And, Anthony should not be in prison, and good for Austin Metcalf for dying serves him right. Or it was just ridiculous, especially for a white guy. I mean, I expect, and the interesting thing is that I heard on the radio show that I listened to is that they were crying, they were screaming because there was no black people in the jury. Well, I've been on a jury, or I've been in the preps of the jury, and they ask you right away, do you have any biases at all? I mean, any? Do you have the inkling of bias against this? And I guess all the black people on that jury says, yes, I have issues with that. Okay, you're free to go. That's why it was all white. And and they're saying that's racism because you had no black people on there, because black people, I guess, can't be fair. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I have black people in my family. They seem decent to me. I love them, like, family members. But anyway, that it kind of ties in. And during the thing was the reading of the verdict, I guess the Black Panther Party showed up. And I was trying to do some little bit of research on the different groups, because right now in America, we are in a Cold War. It's either both thankfully or not thankfully, the police are keeping us from killing each other. You have different groups. You have the Rainbow Warriors, who are the LGBTQ idiots. You have Black Lives Matter, who are extreme racists. And you have, again, people like Black Panther Party. You have Antifa, who are just American-hating idiots, on one side. Then you have over here, you have like Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, 3%ers. And I tried to do some research, and of course, Wikipedia, which is a leftist trash. The only time I check Wikipedia is to see, hey, what's this actor's real name? Or hey, what's this singer's real name? Or stuff that really isn't important. Or if I want to check out something about a TV show or movie, I go to Wikipedia. Other than that, don't use Wikipedia. It sucks. It's like CBS News. They're kind of one of the same. Anyway, but it gave all, and actually what did surprise me about Wikipedia is that they actually did say that Antifa and Black Lives Matter actually use violence to get their way, which is true. But I'm just surprised that Wikipedia actually said that, because Wikipedia kind of, they did say that they're far left, but they just, they have to combat the extreme right wing. And actually, they actually said that Proud Boys was a extremist group, a terrorist organization. And, I know some Proud Boys. I've hung out with them here and there. And one of the Proud Boys actually told me that we're a drinking club with a patriot problem. It was some years ago in Salem, Oregon. There was something going on, some kind of rally, protest, whatever. And Black Lives Matter and Antifa met at the Capitol. I felt extremely uncomfortable. Extremely. I went there with my camera. I went to document and see what was going on, and seeing all the hate and ugliness and disdain that the Black Lives Matter people had for not anybody other than black, but anybody who was other than black who didn't agree with them. They hated them. And I was really afraid for my life. So I just hung out with the Proud Boys. And the crazy thing about the Proud Boys is there is no difference there's no all white people. There's no, it's all different colors. I think Enrique, somebody, the head of the Proud Boys, he's black. Which is funny, because a local TV show wanted to say, okay, I'm going to prove you're a racist group. Where's your leader? Oh, he's coming up right here. Enrique, come on up here. And says, okay, tell me you're so racist. And she turned around and put the microphone in his hand, asking this why he's so racist. And Enrique says, I'm black. What do you mean racist? And she's like, it didn't happen quite that way. It was just close. But I'm seeing here that if this keeps up, this might be the slow burn. Perhaps with Carmelo Anthony stabbing a innocent young man in the chest and killing him, I think instantly, or maybe close to it, that might have been the match that lit the fuse, because the fuse can take a while. But you look at it this way, it's like all these. I mean, especially with the left, I can't see how they, and how many of them are illegal aliens? Probably a lot. Well, but they're all communist, socialist. They hate America. They scream they hate it. They go along with Palestine and just, and however, if you look at the right-leaning groups, the conservative groups, they're, a lot of these people are combat veterans. They have fought for the country. They love the country. You go to a group, this protest from the left. You may see an American flag. You may not. I guarantee it. If it's Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, 3%ers, you're going to see American flags. But it is ugly out there. And did that verdict light the match that will light the fuse that will begin the Civil War? I mean, it depends what happens after Trump leaves from office. That could be the beginning of it right there. It could, because the Democrats have been calling people like me domestic terrorists at least since Biden, when he actually officially put it that way. But what's going to happen? I mean, that's what kind of gets me is, when Trump leaves office, and he hasn't been handling things quite the way I like. I mean, I still support him, but I'm hoping that he's got this higher idea, that this idea that's over my head says, hey, don't worry, I have a plan, it'll work, trust me. I kind of hope he says that, but I haven't heard that yet. So I'm not sure if he's like getting so involved with everything, he's making little mistakes, or I don't know if Trump is like, I have an idea, trust me. And okay, let's see how it works. But that's not happening, because like even with the Iran thing, he keeps on saying, well, they keep on stringing him along. I guess I read on the news just a few minutes ago that tomorrow I guess there's a deal being signed, which would be great. However, Iran can't get its head out of his butt. Iran is fighting with itself between its alleged leaders and its military leaders, who say no, that we signed no agreement, and their government leader says yes, we want to end this war and this issue. We want to end this. So it depends how that works, I guess. But I still in favor of Trump. I'm still a conservative. I'm still MAGA. And the one thing that gets me is the liberals. Why they MAGA? It's like it's an acronym, but do they realize what the acronym is? It's Make America Great Again. And yes, at one time America was great, and it still can be. With Democrats, I should say, not necessarily Democrats, but liberal progressives. With liberal progressives in charge, America is going downhill quickly. And I'm hoping that's what good, strong leadership from the conservatives can do, and that's what people like me can do. Leaders in these groups who fight for the values that we were formed on. I mean, after all, next month is our country's 250th birthday, which is awesome. I'm going to try to do something special for that. Not like I am or not, but yeah, that's somebody looking forward to that. And I have also a couple ideas, some nice ideas, some loving ideas for more future podcasts. But right now, the American combatants is what we are, at least on the right. The left, I'm not so sure, considering they either hate America or they're not even Americans. But just prepare yourself, my friends, with the verdict with Carmelo Anthony going to prison. That might be the spark that lights the fuse. Maybe, maybe not. I hope it does. I really don't want a civil war. I really don't. But it could happen. It really could. I mean, the last thing I want is for this country to be at war with itself. We've done it once. It wasn't good. So, and however, though, that if it does happen, I think I know what's going to happen, and it won't be good for the left. It won't be good for all the soy boys, the guys who think they're girls, but they're really not. The black guys who all they care about is being black. I mean, you get the idea. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, my friends, let's see here. I got to get my normal thing going here. I should have been a little more prepared, but here we go. Okay. I say every week it's something new, something happens. So, I am Dale. and this has been from a particular point of view. For, again, questions, comments, concerns, ideas, thoughts, whatever, watercoolercomments@hotmail.com or watercoolercomments@gmail.com. So just prepare, my friends. It's looking ugly out there. However, I must say that with the Carmelo Anthony verdict being read, I haven't seen as many people on Twitter supporting him as I thought. One thing that gets me about that is he's received, last thing I knew, like $700,000 from GoFundMe, but yet I heard in the news or something that Carmelo Anthony is in prison, saying he's destitute, he's desperate, he needs money badly, and so everybody's asking, you just got handed almost $500,000. Where's that money? Well, come to find out, his family moved into a better neighborhood, and they bought nice clothes, they bought a nice car. They're just living high on the hog on Anthony's money from GoFundMe, but Anthony's like, hey, where's my lawyer? And they're probably saying, what, who? What, for what lawyer? I guess, I don't know. But anyway, it's not looking good for him. And he'll be spending at least the next 20-some years in prison, which is okay for what he did. And and that's what, again, like I was saying, is that the crazy thing is a lot of black people are saying that, yes, you killed somebody. It doesn't matter if he's white. It really doesn't. You killed somebody for no good reason. So anyway, my friends, until next time, have a great day, a great weekend. This is Saturday, by the way. Yeah, the 13th. And like usual, do the blessing and whatnot for the end of the podcast. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. And finally, may the grace of the Lord Jesus, may the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. So until next time, my friends, have a great week, a great weekend. Until next time, have a great one. And God bless. See you. Bye-bye.